Hey everyone, so I'm sitting here getting ready for the day. Wanted to do a quick video. Um, Something happened this weekend that was super fun. That was the first estate sale really since COVID, um, which was out in Kingsville. In real estate, many times things come up at us very fast, and we have to jump to serve the client's interests. In this case, I took the listing in Kingsville. I didn't know that I had the listing until Monday. And then they asked me, can you do an estate sale? Can we get going on this? Because the house had been sitting there for a year before the senior citizen had made up his mind. And then the family was like, okay, he's made up his mind. He's comfortable with his decision. Let's get going, because we don't want him changing his mind. We don't want him debating and all of this other stuff. He said yes. And he did say yes. He was with me. I made sure of that. I'm going to see him today at 2 o'clock as well, too, at the retirement village, to be able to learn a little bit more about the stuff that's left. What can I be doing with the stuff that's left? Normally, I send that to auction houses and things like that. So we'll see what he decides to do with all of that. There was a little bit of short notice with the first estate sale. Adam, my marketing guy over at Media Duo, thank you, Adam, was doing some Facebook advertising things with it. We had put some money towards an advertising campaign on Facebook, and that brought the people in. There's also signage. Kingsville didn't need a whole lot of advanced advertising because everybody drove down. It's just constant traffic in Kingsville on where this house was. So my signs did really well to pull people in as well too. Estate sale. And there were 4 other estate sales in Kingsville too that day, 3 others. I stopped at all of them. And in every case, it was a senior citizen moving someplace else, because you know me, I'm asking the questions. And the senior citizens were surprised when I said, I'm Brian, I'm doing the estate sale down. Oh yeah, you're doing the estate sale for, they knew the person. I can't mention it in my video. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And they're like, we didn't know that there was a realtor that would do all of this. We're surprised. Then I asked the tag-on question, would it have made a difference between the realtor that you hired and having to do your own sale if you knew that there was a realtor that would put it all together and take care of all of it for you? And each of those other 3 senior citizens said absolutely yes. I don't want to have to do an estate sale. I don't want to have to do a garage sale. I don't want to have to be doing this. It would sure have been really nice to have somebody come in and take care of all of it for me. That's very interesting to me. So that was great data sets to know that I'm on what I already know. I'm on the right track. I'm not on the wrong track. I'm on the right track. Now, the other thing is that sometimes with estates and living estates and everything, there's lawyers involved, but it's so much easier to do an estate while somebody's alive. Even if I'm only working with the power of attorney because the person's alive, I've already met them. I know what's wrong with them. In this particular case, my gentleman, my seller, is of sound mind. I've determined that based upon all of the classes and designations and education that I have. It's part of what is so important in this career path, is to be able to understand exactly what's going on with the person across from me. Am I representing their interests? Do they know what's going on? Are they of sound mind too? If they're not of sound mind, does this other person who's making decisions for them have all of the required paperwork to be able to make those decisions? And if yes, proceed. It's that simple. So in this particular case, I did put an advertisement out on Facebook Marketplace announcing the sale too. I didn't do that as fast, and I didn't do that with as many photographs. Because to be honest with you, I'm pulled in all kinds of different directions right now. And selling the real estate is more important than selling $800 worth of stuff. And I do have the cash sitting here. that I'm taking out today for my senior client. I have the cash sitting right here that I'll hand him from his sale. And I got to remember to take that with me today. Thank you for reminding me. So that's how all of that all comes together. I'm only a two-person firm right now, and I have Adam. We did what we could do as fast as we could do it. Adam's crazy busy as well, too. It's part of our problem in our society right now is that there is very few employees or people that will even work. I placed a text to another young gentleman saying, hey, I really need to hire you. Are you going to be available? Your mom says that she'd like to get you working. Haven't heard back from him. As soon as I said it'll be a little bit of a dirty job, wear older clothes. Oh, dirty job? Don't want to do that. Work? Don't want to do that. So it is one of our massive challenges in our society right now, trying to even find the people. I just turned down a deal on Jefferson. The gentleman waited way too long. He needs to have his house cleaned out by May 1st. And at first I said yes, because I'm the only game in town he has. I'm the only option for him. But then I realized I got all these other senior citizens with real estate transactions that I'm helping too. And that's the whole reason for my practice. I should say no. And it was driving me a little bit bonkers this morning. And he didn't say yes yesterday. He just said, well, I'll have to get back with you on that. So it gave me enough time to be able to sit there and say, no. I can't do it in the time frame. It would have been different if he would have been in touch with me 2 months ago when he got first served notice. You got to get out. That would have been completely different for me. Would have been, sure, we can do that. But doing something in less than 2 weeks when I'm already crazy busy enough is, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow from a phone call. I got to go out to Amherstburg again tomorrow to take a look at another estate. There's only so much, so fast that anybody can do. And one of our massive challenges is just that finding the people that even want to work. Even fellow realtors. Nobody's called me to say, gee, Brian, hey, you're doing really well. Do you need any help? Could I leave my other brokerage and join you? And could you help me? Could I be part of your team? I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm seeing the pattern finally. But no, nobody's calling me saying, oh my gosh, I want to join your team. Because they don't want to do the work. I just spent an hour yesterday with another realtor down in South Carolina. She's 53, been a realtor for 20 some plus years. And she was a little interested in serving the senior citizen market. So I explained to her what I do. And her question for me was, so do you have a pickup truck? I said, yeah, I have a pickup truck. I drive it into the ground, helping senior citizens. Oh, well, I don't know about driving a pickup truck. So it's not necessarily the right thing for her. And then she said, but the moving company's down here. Do you move people too? I'm like, no, but I have resources for affordable movers because the senior movers charge an arm and a leg. She said, yeah, that's the problem. They charge like $4,000 to move across town, like 10 items. It's the craziest of things. I said, yeah, here too. They charge $6,000 to move across town, 10 items. It's the craziest of things. I totally agree with you. But if it's the only option in town, it's like being the only gas station out in the middle of the desert. If you need fuel and it's $17 a liter, hey, what are you going to do? So It just is what it is. And so my apologies. If it did seem rushed, it was rushed. Um, I do now have a little bit more time. If we accept this offer today, then yeah, I have more time. But I also have other estates that I have to get cleaned out. Um, that's the other problem. And I'm just a two-person team right now. So it would be easier. Would be. One of the things that I'm in discussions with is with a potential business partner who's thinking about retiring. And I bring up the point of the videography. That person likes to do videography a lot. The editing of these videos. That person is very talented with editing, does the editing already in the job that they're in, and enjoys it. I can't wait to do more. Well, hey, maybe you do some of this editing stuff. It would help. And then also just the back office, the computer entry stuff. It piles up. There's a process to every transaction. And when I'm crazy busy out on the road, I don't have as much time to sit down in front of this computer thing. So if I hired somebody to do my paperwork, it's $200 a transaction. If I do 40 transactions this year, that's $8,000. Okay, fine. Wouldn't it be nice if I was paying the retiree to do that work here at home? My photography, it's $600 a house. So if I did 40 houses and had photography for all of them, everyone's a little different. That's 40 by $600 is $24,000 a year, $2,000 a month in retirement. Going out and watching, helping me film a video and taking photography of the house and running a drone around the house. Okay. So there is that opportunity. And then doing the social media stuff. The sales would be better if somebody was managing in advance the social media stuff. Because I'm only one person. So that's what it's up against. And that person in my household is thinking about, maybe there is this path. But I can't force that person either. It has to be their decision, not my decision. And I've been very clear that I don't understand why the family business, you can't find some slots of things that are interesting for you to do in retirement in the family business, because it would sure help the family business to do even more. And then the family business could be paying you instead of paying other people. It would stay in the family. That's why people own family businesses too. Hello? There's a lot of that here in the city of Windsor. It's part of the reason it's very difficult to be able to break into business, is that a lot of families have circular businesses in this town because it's a small town. I work with my cousin on that. When I was an auto home guy, hey, I want to talk to you about your commercial insurance. Oh, my cousin helps me with that already. Oh, you're not going to break that barrier, no matter how much less expensive you are. No, I'm staying with my cousin. Well, okay, that's good. And that's why in the real estate business, it wasn't until I factored in the concept of movetowindsor.ca, which is now off to the side because the estate cleanout windsor.ca is taken over. I'm only one person, but Move to Windsor is still sitting there. I still own it. It's the number one website for Move to Windsor, and there's 1,000 people a month that are moving to Windsor. And I kind of think I should put something back together, but I don't have any other realtors working with me yet. And I'm only one person who's crazy busy enough. Yes, there's other things. Yes, I'd love to build a team, but I don't have the time right now to be able to even go out and start talking to other realtors. Hey, would you like to join? Would you like to? It's not on my list of priorities right now. My phone keeps ringing every morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Brian, there's this estate. Can you help us? Of course, yes. I'll be right there. Let me turn the lights and sirens on. I don't really have the time for the 15 minutes to do this video here today. But I did take the time, and I've got enough other stuff going on. So I'm going to get off of this video. Thank you for the feedback. I truly appreciate that. Um, it's kind of like when COVID was going on and I was the one doing the groceries. Um, it's hard to understand and it's hard to explain that our society is completely different now. The people do not want to work. I just don't. Because they stopped working in COVID. They realized, I don't need that much money to survive. It's not as bad as what the financial service people make it out to be, that in order to retire, you need $1.7 million at 3% interest. Hello? What are you talking about? You don't need that kind of money. Because once you do retire, then it's like, I don't need this or that or the other. I don't need to pay any attention to the advertising. They're not advertising this brand new Tesla is not being advertised to me. It's being advertised to a 30-year-old. And I'm not going to spend $70,000 on a new car anyway. That kind of thing if you're in retirement. You're driving less. You don't need a new car. Your car's paid off. It's only 4, 5, 6 years old. You don't need another one. This one's fine. It goes from point A to point B. That kind of stuff. You just don't. So it was the same in COVID. When I went to the grocery store, the shelves were empty. And there were things on the list. Hey, I want this. It's like, whew, good luck. It's not here in Windsor any longer. And then everybody's like, what do you mean? It's because people weren't working. Truck drivers weren't trucking. Truck drivers were complaining that, truck stops were closed down. So there was no support for them to even get out and move goods to people. We didn't think any of that through at all. It was pure hell out there. It's what COVID was. It's why we'll never, ever do it again. It will always stay open in some capacity. So the same thing with all of this. I was open in some capacity, trying to do the best that I possibly could, and the time frame that I had to be able to act. So I'm going to get off of here because for today, I have to get over for 12:30 on Westminster, the estate there. They're doing a walkthrough. So I got to get over there because they want to buy some furniture and stuff. So, okay, good. Then I got to be out in Kingsville for 2 to sign an offer. And I got to be in Kingsville for 2:30 to sign the offer. Then I got to go to Tilbury to work there. And I've already said I'm not going to be home for dinner. It's a beautiful day out. I've got to get going on. I got to finish Tilbury. I got to get these projects done and off of the list before I'm up against the wall. So, and Trevor, he's not available today. He wasn't available yesterday. He's finishing up his degree. He's taking his final exam today. And then he's available. So that'll be good. And Terry's working on a project on Lillian. That's going to be a listing for me. And Terry's up to his eyeballs on Lillian. Because the contract that he has and the contracts that he takes is he tries to maximize the value of an estate. Let me sell everything for some kind of money for you. And in this particular case, that worked out okay because the senior citizen still lives in the house and is not going to be moving to London until such time as the house goes up for sale. Once Terry's done with pretty much selling everything that has any value in that house. And that takes a lot of time. It's a month-long project. And that's okay for him. It wouldn't be okay for me because I could get the projects done. And so that gives you a better explanation of how challenging it is. It's why I think it would be a celebration if the person in my household does retire and says, I wouldn't mind taking on these responsibilities. That would be a wonderful thing. But it has to be their decision, not mine. So thanks for watching. I'm going to get going here. I got a lot to do today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.